Hey there everyone, I'm Cogliano, you're watching the On Live show. I saw the Hunger Games over the weekend, and here's my review. So the Hunger Games is based on a book series that I have read the first book of, and I was looking forward to this when it was announced, and because I was really into the book, and I got really immersed in that story when I first read it, and I just was so blown away by the power of the characters and um, the just situation of the whole world that was created in that story, and I was really looking forward to seeing this come out. And I had followed it for a long time. I'd followed the news of the movie, and when it was announced that it was going to be PG-13 instead of like rated R for the violence and such that does actually take place in the story, I was kind of disappointed to hear this, but I think um, now that I've seen the movie, I am kind of pleased with what they were able to do, and I think they got away with a lot of good uh, violent type things, and they kind of trick viewers into thinking things are more violent than they appear to be, and I think it worked out pretty well. So I was happy to see that, and I'm glad that it wasn't this kind of kiddie type thing, and it was kind of dumbed down as it could have been. This is a really close representation of what happens in the book, and in this movie they just cover everything, and you really do get a great picture of what the book would be like in like a visual sense, and I was really pleased because it was exactly what I was thinking everything would look like, and all that kind of thing, all those kinds of things. And it's really great to see things like that, because especially with stuff like Harry Potter, you kind of have an idea of what you think things are like, and to have books match that or just take it further is really great. Jennifer Lawrence plays Katniss Everdeen, and she is fantastic in this movie. She really carries the whole film and just makes this outstanding character really strong, and she's really able to control the presence that it takes to pull off this character. And I was definitely impressed by her performance, because it's one of those things that fans are just going to tear apart and analyze over and over again, and I think she did a really great job of really doing justice to the book and doing justice to what fans should expect. So as I said, this movie really tries to get everything from the book into the film, and I don't know if that helped this movie necessarily. I think it made it kind of rush through a lot of things, and it kind of rushed the development of the story and of the characters, and just didn't give it enough time to explain the things in the world, and that kind of made the movie feel a little uh, kind of unorganized at sometimes, and that really just took away from the experience, because you're in this really immersive world, but you're not like getting any information from it, and you're really kind of left wondering if you haven't read the books, and you're just kind of like, oh, this is happening, but why is this stuff going on? So I think if they had cut back a little bit and maybe just added a little bit less, they could have gone through the development a little bit more and kind of made it a little bit stronger. Another great thing that the book did that I noticed was that it's all from Katniss's perspective, so it gives you a lot of information from her point of view during the Hunger Games, and you don't really get that in the film. And I think if they had kept that, if they had kept her perspective, they would have also had a little bit of a stronger film. I wasn't a huge fan of the supporting cast. I did like Woody Harrelson and a couple of the other adult actors, but I didn't particularly care for the children or the tributes of the film, and I just thought they were kind of weak, and that also just really took away from the movie. This movie does tend to lack in some of its dialogue scenes, but it makes up for it with the really interesting camera work and the interesting sound editing. You get a lot of cool camera tricks that you don't usually see, especially with stuff like the wasp attack, where you have Katniss hallucinating, and there's kind of these like shaky cuts and stuff like that, and that does uh, it does make it a little bit more fun to watch. And there's also some really cool sound editing with stuff like the opening of the Hunger Games, and you have all the contestants running out in complete silence. I thought that was really cool, and there's a lot of cool things like the whistling and all that stuff that you don't see a lot of, and it was definitely a cooler way of bringing things from A to B instead of just kind of going the normal route. So that was definitely interesting, and it made up for some of the boring dialogue. The last thing I have to say about this film is that the marketing was done really well, and they've always been kind of building you up to the actual Hunger Games, and they never showed you anything in the trailers. So it was a really it was a really big surprise to see like what they were going to be doing in the arena and all that stuff because they hadn't shown you anything. So that was really well. That was a really smart thing to do, and it was definitely something that added to the experience of the movie because you didn't really know what to expect and you didn't know what it was going to look like. So that was a good idea on their part, and overall, I did enjoy this movie. I think it's going to be cool to see the films that come after this, and I hope that they can kind of make up for some of the development that didn't happen in this film. They can kind of give a little more backstory of the whole world and that kind of stuff, because that was definitely lacking in this film. And I hope that they can kind of not rush as much, because this was definitely an over-rushed film, and it kind of felt like a watered-down sort of interpretation of what this book was like. So maybe that's just what I saw as a fan, and it would have been different if I hadn't read the books. But I've only read the first book, so hopefully without reading the next ones, I'll kind of enjoy the other films a little bit more. But I think Jennifer Lawrence really pulled this off, and I think she has a great career ahead of her. And I hope that the upcoming films can be a little more interesting and can kind of carry along a little better than this film did. So that's all I have to say for this episode. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, I have a new video out every Monday, and you can subscribe to my channel right up there. For today's question of the day, I want to know what's a book that you would want to see turned into a movie. You can leave your comments right down below, or you can leave a video response. I'll see you guys next time, and that's it.